small wool mill and low process wool to the first sector to becoming one of the country's largest branded fabric and fashion retailers. We trace the journey of visionaries of an illustrious family who, through 9 decades of tradition, innovation and excellence, have made Raymond the iconic brand it is today. Wanting to expand their existing business of producing high-quality cotton cloth and yarn, it was with the 1944 takeover of the Raymond woolen mills from the Sassans that Lala Kailashpat Singhania of the reputed JK Group laid down the foundation of the Raymond saga.
Well, our family was growing its businesses, and when we were in Kanpur, one brother went to Calcutta to settle and one came to Bombay, and this was an acquisition that came up for the family. Raymond was a company that started in 1925 as primarily a business by the Sassoon family that focused on making blankets, and a lot of it went to the army. In the late 30s, early 40s, the Singhania family saw this facility, and as one of the brothers, that's predominantly my grandfather, decided to settle in Bombay, this mill was acquired by the family.
As India marched towards her independence from British occupation, the leadership of Lala Kailashpat Singhania forged the Raymond woolen mills into one of India's premier textile companies.
In the mid-60s, my uncle then, Gopal Krishna Singhania, said that I think I want to make suitings in this factory. That was a defining moment because I think making suits and suiting fabrics was reserved for the West. England had a strong heritage in it, and people thought we were crazy. The family was crazy and it shouldn't be making suitings. But I think that decision was a defining point in the history of Raymond. I think the seed was sown then for producing the best fabrics in the world. The whole thought process of trying to create the best fabrics with the best technology and the best machines and the best people, I think that became the DNA of this company.
To reinvent itself from a company that produced coarse woolen blankets and low-priced wool fabrics to one that would go on to become a major textile manufacturer, Raymond imported the finest wool from Australia and other wool-producing countries.
In the suiting business, there's a sulzor loom that is used to weave the fabric, keeping in tradition and wanting to provide the best of the best. The first sulzor loom that actually came to Asia came to Thana and came to Raymond.
To create foreign exchange for the import of wool and machinery in a newly independent India, Raymond ventured into exports, receiving their first export order for Raymond fabrics from Fiji in 1956.
I think the essence of getting into export more from a financial validity of the proposition was more towards the hunger to compete with world's best and actually beat the world's best. So it was set as a learning benchmark by the promoters. The vision was very clear that we must be seen as a brand which has a capability to produce the best fabric in the world.
Even at an early stage, the fabrics that Raymond designed were of the best possible quality. 1958 saw Raymond's first foray into the retail sector with the first exclusive Raymond retail showroom in the JK building of Mumbai's Ballard Estate.
Suitings at that time, and our investment in this was really to show to the world that we can make the best. We want the Indian consumer to have the best.
That was way ahead of the time that exclusive branded retail really as a concept, not just in India, even worldwide, got popularized. And that's a shop where a customer walks in to get an authorized Raymond fabric, and not only that, gets a service of tailoring integrated with that.
With its first wool manufacturing plant set up overseas in Kenya in 1967, Raymond successfully began penetrating the domestic and international retail markets in Sweden, the UK and Australia. By the late 60s, Raymond's export of woolen textile had reached an all-time high, making Raymond a market leader.
Over time, Raymond got benchmarked and got seen as a brand which is world-class, a product quality which could compete with any best in the world, and started having a market of its own.
The visionaries at the forefront of Raymond sensed the potential of a new idea, the concept of ready-made apparel. In one of the first for India, Raymond Woolen Mills Limited moved into the business of ready-made apparel by the late 1960s. With modern machinery and a state-of-the-art factory that produced trousers and jackets under Raymond Apparel Limited. And India saw its foray into ready-made apparel in the domestic market under Raymond's menswear, with the consumer assured of the best quality fabric and high-quality workmanship.
In 1960s and 70s, the organization realized that there is an opportunity and there is a demographic segment which is looking for immediate gratification of a stitched fabric. It started with just ready-made shirts, and over time it obviously has gone into all product segments in the industry.
A new chapter in the history of Raymond was etched out when Dr. Vijaypat Singhania took over the reins as chairman and managing director for the group. Gifted with an agile mind and charismatic personality, he drove the company's future with passion.
I think he really moved the company from where it was to the next level. He's extremely detailed about what he did. He had a huge passion for quality. He ran it for 20 years, and I think he took the company to a different level. That gave me a big challenge. I think I had to really up the ante from there.
In 1986, Raymond launched Park Avenue, a premium lifestyle brand providing a complete wardrobe solution to men.
Wardrobe of an Indian male, which used to be about 30% of ready-made and 70% of stitched fabric, where you actually buy clothes and get it stitched in the early 90s. Today it's just the other way around. It's 70% is ready-made and only 30% is fabric. So clearly, with time, we needed more than one brand. So while we continue to be fairly strong and a preferred brand in the ready-to-stitch or the fabric segment, Raymond did realize that we have to have a fairly well-represented apparel portfolio.
With 60% share of the worsted textile market, Raymond has always been a premium brand. And the premium positioning of the brand also made it aspirational, from the common man to the rich man. Raymond for all.
It's the only company that makes suit, fabrics from 150 rupees a meter to 3 lakh rupees a meter, 9 lakh rupees a suit length. And every price point wears it. It's the same amount of satisfaction wearing the brand. Like we say, from the taxi driver to Mr. Tata, everybody wears it, and I wear it with as much pride as the guy who buys the 150 rupee a meter fabric. And it's the same brand. There's no brand in the world that transcends this kind of price range.
The early 90s saw Raymond reposition itself in the market as a creator of suitings for the complete man. A metrosexual, caring family man, different from the angry young man of the 70s and 80s.
The complete man position is an infinite position. Nobody can ever become the complete man. And, it's an aspirational position, and you can get away with a lot of things. Very emotional connect place. It's for the common man.
So in 1995, if it was about the familial values and a protective father, today it's a little more progressive Indian male. It's about a letting go. It's more about a facilitating family rather than a protective family. So value systems have evolved, and so has the definition of complete man, and so does the brand needs to be closer to the consumer.
Raymond had become a household name, not just in India, but across the world. The turn of the millennium saw another turning point in the journey of Raymond. Influenced by his father and uncle, Gautam Hari Singhania learnt early in life that work was passion for the Raymond team, and this realization shaped him as a person. The young Singhania, who was the whole-time director in 1990, took over as the chairman and managing director of Raymond in 2000.
It was a job that came to me, and I think the challenges at any stage of life, and we really had to move the baton and take the baton and run. And I think God's been kind. We've had some ups and some downs, and generally the journey's been good.
From launching the Chairman's Collection in 1999, Raymond accomplished the rare feat of being the first and only textile company in the world to export the world's finest wool ever produced, the Australian Merino wool, the Super 230s, made up of 11.8 micron of wool in 2005, and by 2011, the Super 250s.
Chairman's Collection of Raymond is the most exclusive offering we have in our portfolio, not just in one segment but across our segments.
We now make the Super 250s fabric as one of the best fabrics in the world. We are the only company in the world that makes it.
These collections are picked up by our chairman, Mr. Gautam Singhania. It's personally handpicked, and then we take that into our manufacturing and then we offer it across our stores.
And even today, the Chairman's Collection has gone from the worsted fabrics to the cotton fabrics in the shirting, and I think it's found a small space for itself in the group.
Raymond fiercely believes in one of its revolutionary concepts, one that brings wool from the sheep's back to the back of man.
It was a saying that got termed somewhere in the life of the company, from the sheep's back to the man's back, but it actually meant a fully integrated company. We buy the wool, we buy the polyester, we buy the viscose, and we give a full end-to-end solution. So it's vertical integration basically, but it's an easier way to say it, from the sheep's back to the man's back.
As we stand in 2014, Raymond is considered as one of the best worsted manufacturing capability in the world. So while Park Avenue was the first brand, over time we've launched Raymond's exclusive ready-made collection. So today we have a very complementing portfolio in our ready-made business. We have a classic formal brand and a rich legacy of ready-made. We have a fashion formal brand in Park Avenue. We have a classic casual brand in Color Plus, and we have a fashion informal or a casual brand in Parks. And that pretty much is a very comprehensive solution for ready-made to an Indian consumer.
From being one of the most respected textile companies in the world, Raymond is now the world's largest integrated manufacturer of worsted suiting fabrics, providing a one-stop shop solution to its customers. Today, Raymond has close to 1,000 stores across 350 cities pan-India.
Raymond currently has a presence with its product in over 55 countries, and this presence is both in B2C and B2B spaces. So we do have direct Raymond stores, over 60 stores out of India, and they are largely in Middle East, in neighboring countries. We have stores in Pakistan, we have in Bangladesh, we have in Sri Lanka, we have in Dubai, Saudi. So we have a fairly sizable presence there. We are about to enter in African continent through Nigeria, a couple of Raymond shops there. And we have very strong presence in some of the developed economies where worsted fabric is the preferred form of clothing. Economies like China, economies like Japan, economies like Europe. America is one of the largest contributors to our export revenues today. So overall, Raymond has a fairly strong presence as a brand and as a product in both formats, direct B2B and directly to consumer, across very wide part of the world today.
The visionaries of Raymond dreamt of being the world's best in not just producing the best quality fabric, but also being respected by peers and inspiring loyalty amongst its people.
We have an environment where we nurture talent. Over the years, Raymond has believed in a lot of investment in talent.
रेमंड में मैं स्टार्टिंग में एक इलेक्ट्रीशियन के रूप में काम चालू किया। बाद में मैं 15 साल वहाँ काम करने के बाद में मैं को जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली रेमंड में जो पॉलिसी के तौर पे। फिर मैं यहाँ फैब्रिक का काम किया, फैब्रिक की ट्रेनिंग देकर फोल्डिंग डिपार्टमेंट में छिंदवाड़ा प्लांट में फोल्डिंग डिपार्टमेंट में रहकर फैब्रिक का और क्वालिटी के बारे में जानकारी लेकर वहाँ काम किया और फिर इसके बाद प्रमोट होकर ऑफिसर पोस्ट में वापी प्लांट में काम कर रहा हूँ। रेमंड के में मेरे को एक परिवार के रूप में काम करने का मौका मिला और परिवार के समान मेरे को समय निकल गया मेरा।
Raymond has adapted itself from the traditional retail environment to the modern retail systems, displaying an excellent ability to stay young and current despite international competition.
Where India will be in 5 years from today will be a very different place to what it is today. It's very difficult to predict where it will go, but I think the only thing that's constant in life is change. And I think, change causes stability.
The Raymond family has always believed that the group should also work towards the creation of a more equal society. The Singhania patronage has seen the setup of educational institutes and rehabilitation centers in India, offering equal opportunities to all.
The group does two main activities. One is, two or three main activities. One is education. My father is also very passionately involved in the trust, which does the upgradation of cattle in India. The third project that we're doing is a vocational rehab for tailors. We believe we're trying to impart training to tailors so that they can go and earn a livelihood of 5,000 to 10,000 rupees a month. And it's a diploma course that they do with us in proper discipline.
Be it the Srimati Sulochna Devi Singhania School in Mumbai or the newly established Dr. Vijaypad Singhania School in Vapi. The education imparted has grown in leaps and bounds, nurturing over 6,000 students a year. These schools not only expose students to the latest technologies and facilities, but also promote exponential learning, teaching children lessons of ethics and values that stay with them through life.
The Singhania School Trust runs 3 schools and 2 rehabilitation centers. The purpose of starting the school and all schools across the country that we intend to start is to provide quality education to children across different sections of the society. We want them to have the joy of learning and have the curiosity alive. The school is especially known for its pedagogy, the innovations in pedagogy, and for the IT component that we have.
The Raymond Rehabilitation Center, set up in 2006, provided free vocational training to underprivileged men in fields like motor mechanics and electrical, setting them on the path of self-reliance.
We are trying to help them to stand on their own feet, become independent thinkers and doers. And in order to get them also be a part of a more civilized society, we give them a lot of training and soft skills. We run a rehabilitation center for Adivasi women in Chhindwara, which is for tailoring. So we help the ladies over there to learn sewing and make clothes and sell them. We've given them a machine each. That is the least that we could do for the welfare of the women and empowerment of people.
In 1997, a rural development scheme, JK Trust Gram Vikas Yojana, was launched with the objective of transferring the expertise gained by scientists of the Raymond Embryo Research Center in the management of crossbred cattle to villages to help improve the quality of India's rural areas through the Cattle Breed Improvement Program.
We actually go from village to village, improving the quality of cattle that's born, thereby the milk yield in the farmer's hand goes up, which is rural development, and we believe that saves millions of lives.
Raymond has maintained its leadership in Indian woolen fabrics, maintaining a balance of right weight stability, feel and fall with a range of colors, blends, weaves and patterns.
Every single person has played a large chunk in bringing Raymond where it is today. It's not one day it's evolved to where it is today. And I think today Raymond is in a very enviable position as number one brand in the country. It's certainly amongst the best brands in the world, and we're very proud of it. And you know, this is not the end, this is the beginning. I think we've got so many more opportunities. You know, there are new challenges every day, and how do we overcome them? So we sell the best shirting fabrics, we do the best worsted fabrics, we make the best suits in the country, and you know, certainly in the world. We upped our garmenting capacities, fabric capacities, everything. So, and you know what, there's a long way to go. There's a long way to go. We're continuously thinking of how to change the game. There's always a challenge to take it to the next level. We're hyper at some level, finding the next challenge.
It is no wonder then that the dream of being the best has made Raymond not just the market leader in its businesses, but has also fostered the 90-year journey of celebrating the complete man.